Long after the names of great conquerors have faded, the world will remember a moment in time when a man named Gandhi, called the Mahatma, conceived and practiced successfully a new method of solving disputes between men by understanding and love instead of by hatred. This is the immortal life of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born in 1869 in a conservative Hindu family in Porbandar, Gujarat. He was, by his own standards, a mediocre student who did not shine in any particular field. His religious tolerance found its beginnings in his childhood, for his father had a wide circle of friends of other faiths, and the child Gandhi listened attentively to their discussions. These early impressions took firm hold on his eager mind and lasted his life. To India at the time, non-violence was not just a passive creed. It gave courage and hope to the people, and above all, a voice. Like the light at dawn, Gandhi awoke a vast, slumbering nation. This great little man had an indomitable spirit. He was a gentleman with a faith that could and did move mountains. In the practice of those days, he was married young. His wife Kasturba, simple and unassuming, was silently to take upon herself a large measure of the strain of his turbulent life. South Africa was the background for Gandhi's first attempts at social protest. After a 3-year course in England, where he trained for the bar, the young Gandhi began his legal career in Durban, Natal, on a brief from merchants of his native Gujarat. When Gandhi returned to India in 1914, he was little known outside the urban areas. It was at this time that he founded his ashram, his retreat, at Ahmedabad on the banks of the river Sabarmati. Here he took up the cause of the poor indigo sharecroppers who had long been exploited by wealthy estate owners. Gandhi now immersed himself in the work of the Indian National Congress and introduced a new element to Indian politics, satyagraha, or non-violence, non-cooperation. This revolutionary concept did not depend on money for arms for its fulfillment. It was a weapon which Gandhi placed in the hands of his countrymen to stir them into action. His faith in its effectiveness inspired the movement toward self-rule. If violence broke out, Gandhi would immediately call off the agitation and go on a fast of self-purification. The historic Dandi March in 1930 was in peaceful defiance of the British government's monopoly on salt. Gandhi led a group of volunteers from his Sabarmati ashram on a 24-day trek to the coast and made salt from the sea at Dandi. The Dandi March had a startling effect. Hundreds of people all along the coast followed Gandhi's example. The lawbreakers remained peaceful, but not the keepers of the law. Mass arrests were made. Gandhi was arrested once again. But civil disobedience has proved its validity. It had won a great moral victory in the cause of freedom. Gandhi advised India's politicians to go out among the people, to learn their language, work among them. He urged them to revive spinning and weaving, the long forgotten crafts of the peasant, and he took the method of non-violence, non-cooperation into the field of economics. Boycott all foreign goods. Buy only that is made in India, Swadeshi, he appealed to the people. He knew that, if carried out widely, this could slow down the wheels of the British industry and would give tremendous courage to Indian manufacture. Gandhi himself sat at the spinning wheel every day to demonstrate his identification with the simple peasant. He wore hand-spun, hand-woven khadi and gave self-respect to the poor by being one with them in dressing and living. Nowhere was this demonstrated more clearly than in his bold attempt to reform untouchability. He led his followers in doing work once reserved for the untouchables. He lived with them in their colonies so that all who wished to see him forced to break conventions. As a social reformer, Gandhi made women proud of their role in the making of New India. As a spokesman of his people, he worked out the terms of India's freedom with British viceroys and cabinet missions. The decision to partition the country grieved Gandhi. The end of British rule saw riots in many parts of the country. Gandhi spent the cold winter months of 1946-47. He was 77, walking barefoot from village to village, dispelling hate with love, reminding people that they belonged together. In January 1948, Gandhi went on his last fast in Delhi. He wanted a solemn pledge that no man would raise his arm against another. But there were extremists who were infuriated by Gandhi's preaching of tolerance. On the way to his evening prayer meeting on January 30, 1948, he was fatally shot by a militant young man. Vaishnava jana to tene kahije, peed paraye jane re. Death did not mark the end of all Gandhi had lived and died for. By his life and death, Gandhi demonstrated the moral force of a man whose desire to serve his fellow men was greater than his attachment to life. And Gandhi, as much as his ideas, does not belong to India alone. He belongs to the world, to history. In an age and in a country where communications were not always easy, when millions did not know how to read or write, Gandhi was able to reach out to the common man. Wherever he went, people flocked around the slender figure in the rough, homespun dhoti, with the kindly smile and the ready ear. He was known and loved by the millions in his country who called him Bapu, the simple word for father. A salute to the symbol of peace, Mahatma Gandhi.